Chris Carter.
Mr Speaker, I rise to speak on the briefing from the New Zealand Baha'i community, which was received by the Foreign Affairs and Trade Select Committee, of which I am a member, sir. The chair of the committee, John Hayes, has just spoken about the concerns that the New Zealand Baha'i community brought to our committee about the condition of Baha'is in Iran. They raised with us specific cases of family members of Iranian Kiwis from the Baha'i community living here in New Zealand. They also spoke about others of their faith who are imprisoned or have lost jobs and have suffered over a long period of time, not just during the period of the Islamic Republic in Iran, which was established, of course, after the return of Ayatollah Khomeini in the late 1970s, but prior to that, there has been a long period in Iran where Baha'is have not been considered, both under the Shah's regime and under the Islamic Republic, as full citizens of that country. Sir, this is very sad, because what it does is give the impression to non-Muslims that Islam is an intolerant faith. Actually, sir, that's far from true. Indeed, during the Middle Ages, the Jewish community were driven from Spain by the Catholic rulers of that country and found refuge in the Ottoman Empire, ruled from Constantinople, showing at that time that an Islamic state was a more welcoming place for diversity than Christian Europe. Similarly, sir, during the time of the Abbasid rulers of Baghdad during the Middle Ages, when Baghdad and Cordoba were two of the greatest cities on earth, that Arab Islamic state was marked by tolerance of its many different nationalities and religions. Indeed, during the Ottoman period in the Balkans, people could practice both Orthodox and Christian faith. The only penalty is they paid taxes, whereas Muslims didn't. Quite an incentive, of course, for many Bosnians to become Muslims. So Islam is not by nature a religion that is intolerant, but its practice in Iran and the Islamic Republic towards the Baha'is certainly, sir, infringes human rights. And it is very important that New Zealand, a country with a proud tradition of human rights, indeed, as all members of this House know, the very first country in the world to give women the vote, that our country, a small country far from Iran, but nevertheless the home to some people of the Baha'i religion, we send a message to Iran that while we admire the material progress that the Islamic Republic has made, particularly in its redistribution of wealth to the poorer sections of that society, that has made tremendous progress in that area and in education and health, nevertheless, in this area around human rights, that particularly pertaining to the Baha'i community, that there are serious questions that were raised in our committee, serious questions that have been raised at the United Nations and globally, and these are legitimate questions, and the Islamic Republic, of which the re-elected President Ahmadinejad says he is a great proponent of human rights, indeed he has spoken on this very subject, sir, at the UN, then these declarations about the equality of peoples, particularly of all peoples within Iran, is a very important promise to be kept. And so we have listened carefully to the evidence brought before us. We have recommended, as Mr Hayes has said, that these issues are raised with the Iranian authorities, and I understand a Deputy Secretary of Foreign Affairs has been in Tehran in the last few months, meeting with the Iranian Foreign Ministry and the Human Rights Commission, raising yet again our concerns. I know that when Phil Goff, as our Foreign Minister, visited Tehran, sir, he raised these issues with the Foreign Ministry of the Islamic Republic. I know that in the past, the last 7 years, for example, at the United Nations, when Canada has moved a resolution on human rights in Iran, New Zealand has been a co-sponsor of that, and I understand in the third Committee of the UN General Assembly, we are considering attaching our name again to the Canadian resolution, and I urge Foreign Minister McCulley to ensure that that happens, because we have done it under a Labor government for 7 years, that we send a strong message to the Islamic Republic of Iran, that the Baha'i community in Iran must enjoy the same civil rights, the same religious rights that other Iranians of different faiths enjoy. Indeed, President Ahmadinejad has spoken about the small remaining Jewish community and their place in Iran, that there are many members of the Arab minority who are Sunni rather than Shiite Muslims. They have a guarantee under the Constitution of the Islamic Republic that they have full rights. It is only the Baha'is, those 350,000 or so Iranians of the Baha'i community, who appear to not enjoy any of those rights. And, sir, this Parliament is sending a message with tabling this report. We are saying to the Islamic Republic of Iran, please consider your actions in regard to the Baha'is, that these actions, in our view, contravene human rights, and that the Baha'i community in New Zealand is especially concerned about friends, relatives and co-members of their religion, and that they be treated equally. This, sir, is a document that has the full support, I believe, of all parties in this House, and speaking as a united voice in this Parliament, we say to the Islamic Republic of Iran, please respect the human rights of your citizens of the Baha'i religion.